Hey guys, so this is Basil. He is a diamond python. So what do we feed Basil, Will?
Basil, he's just getting frozen rats, so we just thaw his rats out and feed them to him. It's not the nicest thing, but he has to eat something.
Lovely.
Yeah.
How old's Basil?
So Basil, he's up around the 8-year-old mark this year, and he's probably about halfway grown at the moment, so he's about 2 metres, but when he's fully grown, he's going to get up to 4 metres. He's not too tight there, is he? No?
We don't like them to get round our necks, that's never good.
He just likes getting up where it's nice and warm. So on the side of his mouth, he has little heat receptors, and he can feel where it's nice and warm, and he'll go straight there.
I've got a nice scarf today.
Very nice scarf. I'll bring him back around. I am. He's just doing a bit of exploring. They're naturally curious and inquisitive snakes by nature, so he is going to just be exploring around, seeing who's holding on to him.
I haven't held you for a while, Basil, so it's really like, who is this crazy lady?
So these guys, they're what they call a restrictor. So they actually grab hold of their food and then they wrap it up and restrict their breathing. So basically eventually suffocate it. It's never nice, but at the same time, as I said, they've got to eat something. So no venom, no poison, anything like that. And he's not going to try and bite or eat anything that he knows is too big for him. So he knows he's not going to be able to he's not going to be able to, or he's not going to want to bite us, to eat us, because he knows we're all too big to eat. So he might bite us if we're trying to hurt him, but that's about the only reason why Basil's going to bite us. So you can see him sticking his tongue out all the time. So he's actually doing something pretty special there. He's smelling the air when he sticks his tongue out. So his nose is actually inside his mouth. So what he does is he sticks it out, gets all the different smells on his tongue, then takes it inside and rubs it against his palate, which is inside his mouth there. So he's smelling the air. Right.
Swap places.
Probably be a lot fatter than this, so when they're fully grown they'll be trying to eat things like small wallabies and possums and things like that. So luckily for us, we're never really on the diet for these guys.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, very, very strong, and that's because he's got to when he grabs hold of his food, he doesn't want to let it go. So very, very strong, and also when he's up in the trees, he's moving and stretching out from branch to branch, so he's got to have lots of muscle in there.
Basil often lets out a little kiss, but that's not, when he does it, it's more of a
breeze,
is it?
Yeah, so Basil, he comes up and he does a little whisper in your ear, I call it, but it's not an aggressive thing at all. Most snakes, when they're hissing, it means they're going to bite you, but Basil, it's almost like he's just whispering something in your ear and telling you something. So you'll find these guys around the Newcastle area as well, so very common these guys to be found up in your roofs chasing little critters around. Basil's about as nice as snakes come, so in the wild all your diamond pythons aren't going to be as nice as this guy.
Yeah,
he's just used to handling.
Wouldn't suggest going and just picking up a random diamond python in the wild. Although he's not going to be poisoned, like venomous.
No, he's not going to be venomous, but he still will bite you and it still could hurt a bit. So this guy, most people think snakes only have the 2 teeth at the front, 2 fangs. Basil's actually got about 127 teeth, I think it is, at last count, something like that.
Now you tell me.
So he's got quite a lot of teeth, and so if he was to bite, he'd leave a ring of teeth marks. But most of those teeth are so small and so needle sharp, you don't even feel them. So, yeah.
He likes to kiss Will.
He does. So you can try and see these tiny little spikes on the back of Basil there. They're the leftovers of his legs from a long, long time ago. When they started evolving, they obviously started losing their legs, and this is all that's left. So they use those a little bit in breeding now for grabbing hold of each other, but they're the leftover of his legs.
Wow. You can hear him making a sound.
Calling out to his mum, basically. That's the noise they'd make in the wild to say, "Mum, I'm in distress, come and help me." So he's still a little baby, he's still a little bit scared of us because we're a lot bigger, and still see there's tiny little razor sharp little teeth in there.
How big does he get?
So this guy is going to get up to 3 metres long. Oh. Yep, so as big as the tank he lives in, but we can only keep him for 1.2 metres and then we have to get a smaller guy. So, yeah. So these, the crocodiles, they're a little bit different to alligators. So with alligators, their mouth, when they close, their teeth stick inside their mouth, whereas your crocodiles, when they close their mouth, even if they bang against you with their mouth closed, because their teeth stick out, they're still able to cut you and things like that. They've got basically built-in little webbed feet like the turtles, so they're really good at swimming, built-in flippers. They've got basically built-in solar panels all the way down the back of their body. So when these crocodiles are feeling a bit cold, they come up to the top of the water and stick all these black little panels out of the water, and the sun hits them and warms them up. So they're basically built-in little solar panels. He's got 3 little eyelids there. So he's able to close the eyelid, and then he's basically got built-in goggles so he can see underwater but also keep the water out. He's got a tiny little ear just behind his eye so he's able to hear, and he's also got tiny little nostrils, so when he gets up to the top of the water you might only see the tiny little bit of the head and none of the body. So all the vital parts that they need to get out of the water are right up in that top bit, so they're able to hide the rest of their body down below. So they're really good ambush predator, these guys.
So you wouldn't like to get bitten by one of those little fellas?
Especially when they get a lot bigger, those teeth get bigger and they get sharper. So, but luckily for us humans, these freshwater crocodiles, they're not like the salt waters. They're not man-eaters or anything like that, and they don't attack humans unless humans are attacking them.
So thanks for showing us around the animals here, Will. So anyone can come and have a look.
Anyone can come over to the wetlands and have a look at all our little animals that are in our tanks, and they can even ask about our tank talks and our wetlands on wheels, so that different shows that we have, that you'll be able to get the animals out and actually have a bit of a closer look and feel them and touch them and learn a bit more about them. So definitely come on over to the wetlands and have a look at our animals.
And you'll have a beautiful receptionist.
Yep.
Thanks guys! Don't forget to like if you liked this video and subscribe for more videos. Bye!